Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm going to be telling you about my 12 in 12 epilepsy awareness journey. So if you haven't been following me already or following my hashtag ABChallenge12, then I will tell you a little bit more. Hi Winnie. Winnie's just come under the table. You coming up? You coming up? Come on, good girl. What are you doing? Shh. You're interrupting me. So, I'm doing 12 challenges over the course of 12 months, so a challenge each month, and I started in June last year, and I'm actually coming up to my final ones, which is pretty exciting, and they're actually getting harder. So I started actually quite hard. I started with the Lakeland Trail Run 14k, started with that, and then I progressed on to the Henley, I'm having to think now, Henley Mile Swim, followed by the Wirral Sprint Triathlon. Then I had, what was after that? I can't remember, but I've got a full playlist on YouTube that you can catch up with every single one. I've done loads, and it's not necessarily about how hard they are in the sense of like a physical sense. It's actually about mental challenges as well. So there was a couple that I threw in there that I thought, right, these are things that I've found hard to deal with, one of which is a recent one I actually did, and a lot of people sort of looked at it and went, well, how is that a challenge? And when you hear my story about it, you know, there is a bit of a challenge behind that. What are you doing? Just sit down. I did a snowboard lesson in Tamworth for challenge number 8 or 9? Who was 9? No, 8. Challenge 8. I can't count, can I? Challenge 8, and it was a snowboard lesson at Tamworth. Now, the reason behind that one is because when I was having seizures without knowing, I had a snowboard lesson and had basically a cluster of complex partial seizures in one go, and it really put me off from ever taking snowboarding any further. So as one of my challenges, it was sort of a mental challenge, also physical, because I absolutely hurt my coccyx so bad because I fell down. But that's by the by. I managed this lesson and I went from beginner right the way through and was nearly able to turn without anyone being there. So, you know, to do something like that was pretty big, and that's why I popped that in there as well. We've also got things like, these are the ones I've got planned. The one that is completely definite is in April, but I've got the Windermere kayaking end to end, that's in March. April, I've got Ironman Oceanside 70.3, which I'm being sponsored by California Walnuts, which is exciting. And then I have a final challenge in May, which I was hoping to do the Three Peaks Challenge, but there are some other ones at the Keswick Mountain Festival, which I've got my eye on, and potentially might step it up a notch and do one of those. So yeah, it's been a long journey, and I've had some great coverage as well. I've been in the Metro, all about it, and I'm just trying my hardest to make people aware of epilepsy. It's not about like the challenges I'm actually doing, it's about actually, can we bring more awareness to this? As many of you know, in my 2015 video, I explained how I Dr. Googled this condition so much. People do not understand epilepsy. I mean, I hold my hands up to it. You know, I didn't either when I first was diagnosed. I had no idea there were so many layers to this condition. It isn't just about the stereotype. There are so many people out there who deal with these absence seizures. You know, there's different names for everything, and I'm probably, even as an epileptic myself, I probably call them the wrong thing, but there are so many out there, and we all have a variation. I mean, I experience simple partial and complex partial and nocturnal, and other people will experience other kinds and other mixtures, and you know, it is crazy how big this thing is. And I think the lack of knowledge could have saved me. I mean, if people knew more about it, could have saved my 20s, because I try not to associate it, and that's the same with this. This is what I'm talking about with this snowboard challenge. I have an association times when I was having seizures, and you know, I kind of associate those times with bad bad things now. So my whole of my 20s, I pretty much, without realising, I pretty much look back and go, well, that was crap. I had terrible 20s. And to some degree I didn't have a nice time because I was experiencing this without realising. And that is due to that lack of knowledge. If I'd have known more about it, perhaps I would have been able to wave a flag before and go, actually, you know, doctor, you're saying this is an anxiety attack, but it feels a bit more than that, and have the confidence to go, let's get me to a neurologist sooner, and then I wouldn't have struggled for so long and got myself in a mental health pickle, shall we say. So anyway, obviously, as you know, I try my hardest to kind of promote the fact that we can live the best life. If you're here watching this with epilepsy, you can live the best life. You can do things. You obviously have to accommodate where possible for your condition. No one knows your condition better than yourself. That's that, you know, if you don't feel comfortable doing something, don't do it. I'm not going out of my way to, you know, to say, you should be doing open water swimming. A lot of people won't. A lot of people, even without epilepsy, wouldn't do it. So you have to do things that work for you. And if you're unsure if you can do something, go get it checked out by a GP or speak to one of the charities like Epilepsy Society, Epilepsy Action Research, Epilepsy Research and Young Epilepsy. All of these charities have a great, you know, have a great connection to a lot of specialists. So use that and get the information that you need, and, you know, just don't let this thing hold you back. The whole community since starting this journey has, I wish I'd have connected with people sooner, and I'm really gutted that I didn't. I've got to stop looking back and look forward now because I keep doing this. I'm like, oh, I wish I'd done that. No, wait, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I wish I'd have reached out to the community sooner. There's a load of Facebook community for people with epilepsy, and we all chat, because it's unless you experience it, nobody understands it. And so that is why I'm doing this 12 and 12 journey. I've gone off a little bit, but that is why I'm doing this 12 and 12 journey, because I want to show that we can be so happy and we can live a full life and we can do these things. We just have to take a little bit of consideration to whether it's right for us. Some things I won't do, some things I will do. Sometimes if I've had a seizure and I'm not feeling my best, I won't go out on the bike. Pretty much like today, I was supposed to go for a bike ride first thing this morning. That was not a wise move. So I've made that conscious decision to not go out on the bike, even though I need to be training. So instead, I'm going to train indoors with my turbo, because it's safer. We'll see how my, you know, I've had a bit of a migraine today because I had a nocturnal seizure last night. Sorry, I didn't explain that. That's on another video. I had a nocturnal seizure last night. So I've just made that decision to go, actually, this perhaps isn't a good idea. I'm going to do this instead. Maybe do a bit of mindfulness, do a bit of yoga. And it's about the aftercare and looking after yourself, basically. But the whole thing is just about living the best life you can, and supporting each other. And I think that's something that has been a major part for me. Starting this journey has really opened my eyes to it, and I'm really so incredibly thankful that I've had such big support of everyone in this community. And it makes me feel a little bit choked up, to be quite honest, because I just want to do, you know, anyone can do this. I just figure I've got this opportunity to do it, you know, and I want to do these things, so why not tell people about it and try and help the whole community by spreading more awareness and helping, you know, helping us, because then people will understand us more and get that, you know, just when you say you've had a seizure and no one's seen you actually fitting, that they don't just dismiss it. Not that I'm not saying that people necessarily mean to, but they do treat people who fit differently to those with partial seizures because they can't see it. It's like it's kind of like mental health, really. People just it's still a big deal, but just because you don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. And the aftermath is huge. You know, I feel today this is probably what spurred me on to do some videos today. But I was feeling really sorry for myself. I had a proper cry when I got up this morning because I had a nocturnal seizure, because I was like, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I fix this? What am I doing? What have I done to deserve this? And I can't help but beat myself up about it. But then I'm trying to push that aside and go, no, I'm not letting you take me over. I'm not letting this happen, and neither should you. So yeah, this is my 12 and 12 journey, and I'm coming to the end, and I'm hopefully gonna help raise more awareness. Like I say, this hasn't been a fundraising thing because I don't really like doing fundraising things. That's my own personal choice. But I want to help people, and that's all I want to do. I don't want anyone to feel like how I did when I was dealing with partial seizures for years without knowing. I don't want anyone to be in my boat like I was, and feeling as alone and unheard, and made to feel crazy actually, which, yeah, that happens. You do feel crazy. Even now when I'm like, did that happen? Did I actually have a seizure, or did I just imagine that was happening? When I know it was one, because I'm normally left with a migraine, and I've got one coming on now. Yay! Anyway, I'm trying not to be pessimistic. It's all positive. So, yes. So, 12 and 12 journey. I'm doing it for us, and thank you for the support so far. I will update you at the end. Make sure you are watching my other playlists. Follow me on Twitter. I'm at Miss Annie Bean. I'm on Instagram at It's Annie Bean, and drop me a message. I get so many emails globally from my old videos. Let me know if you've seen this one, and let me know if you're planning on doing any, whether it's sport, whether it's getting over those kind of mental barriers like I did with the snowboard lesson, anything like that you're doing, let me know. And just as a disclaimer, don't do anything you are not comfortable with. I'm not saying everyone should do everything I'm doing. I'm not at all. I just have to say that you need to work to yourself, and you know your body better than anyone else. And always get checked by your neurologist, GP, whoever you see, to ensure that you are fine to take part in whatever it is. I've obviously, with Ironman Oceanside 70.3, I've contacted them directly and said, I've got epilepsy, what do I do? Is there something? So I've heard that people have had people kayak next to them in the swim, all sorts of things like that. So if you are doing races, always reach out. It's better to, and wear an epilepsy band. All those kind of things, and yeah, just have fun and go for it. Anyway, love you lots. Bye.